With the announcement of the Louis Vuitton by Nike Air Force 1 release info coming out earlier this week, it got me wondering, are high fashion streetwear collabs pricing out more and more of the true fans? With a price tag of $2,000, the LV by Air Force 1 collab is definitely on the higher side. But before we get to the point of the story, don't forget to smash that like button. Liking and sharing the video is the best way to get the YouTube algorithms to notice us. And I know I say it in every video, but it really does help us continue to grow. But with that being said, let's get into it. If you're a fan of the channel, then you already know that I am not fond of the whole high fashion streetwear thing at all. Ever since the trend began a few years ago, I've always seen straight through it. Maybe it's because I'm old enough to remember the days where high fashion barely even considered streetwear a legit fashion genre at all, much less were willing to work with them. Well, gone are those days, because in the never-ending pursuit of continued growth, high fashion brands have realized that the younger street crowd will spend tons of money on clothes if you simply just market to them. And one of the more successful transitions for them has been in the sneaker industry. The LV by Off White Air Force 1 is the next in the line of collabs between high fashion and street or sportswear brands. The trend was set with previous collab releases such as Dior's limited edition Air Jordan 1, which retailed at $2,000 for the lows and $2,200 for the highs, with only 8,500 pairs available worldwide. Being as hyped as they were, when they hit the resale market, they instantly skyrocketed 10x to as much as 20 grand on StockX. The Prada by Adidas collab was a bit more affordable, if you really want to call it that, at $800. But let's be honest, that's still a lot to pay for a pair of sneakers. Of course, the high fashion houses want to sell you on the idea that once it's laid hands on by the luxury world, it's suddenly remade and interpreted with new luxury materials such as fine leathers and craftsmanship to match or at least reflect the price point. But is that even really possible? I mean, think about it. What in the world could actually make a pair of retro ones that originally retail for around $200 or $500 to $600 at best if they're rare, now truly reflect the price point of $2 grand? When Louis Vuitton revealed that its 9 Air Force 1 silhouettes would be dropping soon, the house also shared a behind the scenes footage video of the shoe being pieced together by hand, carefully cut and sold to create the final product. Now, as an artist, I can understand charging a premium for a piece of work that took time and care to create. But at what point do some of these techniques become a useless process carried out simply to try and justify an exorbitantly high asking price? It's like me saying I made a piece that required me to travel to the furthest reaches of the Amazon forest in search of a special ancient tree to produce the paper, and then attain the ink from the rarest of deep sea squid. You'd probably be like, come on now, bro, you could have just went to Office Depot and saved yourself a gang of time. Point being, sure, it's cool that the shoe was handcrafted and laboriously stitched, but is that really gonna make it higher quality than the machine specifically made and set the specifications to create the same shoe? Over the past few years, the line between streetwear and luxury has been completely erased. We're now seeing brands like Dior sell $5,000 hoodies, Chanel making sneakers, and the biggest houses poaching talent from the streetwear world. There's a sect of the streetwear community that's young and hungry and always looking for the coolest new products and designers on the market. And then there's those that's mostly just concerned with hype. A few years ago, following the rise of luxury streetwear labels like Off White and Palm Angels, the big players decided to start making t-shirts, hoodies, and sneakers because they finally realized it was time to attract a younger audience and stay relevant. Without these consumers, many of those brands wouldn't have even been able to keep their sales up. Of course, they have a core fan base of older, mature people that value the names and legacies, but that group is rapidly aging out, and they needed new blood and a way to ingratiate themselves in the hearts and minds of a whole new generation. Before linking up with established sportswear brands, many high fashion houses tried their hands at original design sneakers. and some of them still make them to this day. But none of those, with rare exception, neither looked good nor gets nearly as much attention as the ones made in collaboration with the guys that actually know what they're doing when it comes to making sneakers that look good. Okay, I admit, I may be a bit biased because I harbor an irrational hatred for high fashion streetwear, but I've never seen a single pair of luxury standalone sneakers that I liked. Okay, maybe the Balenciaga sock shoes and the clunky ones, but mostly never. The trade-off here though is that you wind up paying around 10 times the price for a sneaker silhouette just because it includes luxury brand names on it. For reference, a new pair of Air Force One sneakers normally go for around 90 bucks. A pair of Sambas about 65. They're accessible and worn by most young people today because they're cool and trendy, but still affordable. When luxury brands reinterpret these, why does the price tag have to change so drastically? Well, because that's their game. Luxury brands want you to think that there's value and prestige in owning their products, and that they're crafted of the finest materials and sold to the most exclusive of people. But the fact is, they're selling you a dream more than elevated quality. Think about it this way, with cars. You can spend 30 grand on a Toyota Camry or 300 grand on a Lamborghini. I mean, sure, they're both cars, but when you drive the Lambo, there's a clear and obvious difference between that of the Camry. You feel like you're getting your money's worth. But is there really that much difference between Louis Vuitton leather and the stuff that Nike normally uses? I mean, yeah, to be honest, there is a difference, but is that difference worth a $1,500 markup though? Here's the thing. No kid is gonna be able to get their hands on a pair of Louis Vuitton sneakers for the most part, much less afford them in the first place, because these exclusive collaborations will only be offered to clients and collectors. And don't get me wrong, it kind of makes sense because it is an extremely limited collaboration, but it's a shame that those who've supported the sneaker industry, built the community, and made the luxury fashion guys recognize the importance of streetwear in the first place won't actually be invited to take part. Some brands are starting to get it a little bit. When Burberry teamed up with Supreme earlier this year, we were all expecting a Louis Vuitton by Supreme round 2, which is to say impossible to cop and super expensive. But to our surprise, Supreme dropped half of the collection on their own website, and each item was priced according to Supreme's own price points. Then Burberry dropped the second part in stores and on their website, which retailed at premium prices because of the quote-unquote materials and craftsmanship, and featured the collection's fancier items like leather jackets and silk shirts. Long story short, there was an expensive capsule and a more affordable capsule, meaning that anyone could join in and wear the collaboration, despite their budget. Burberry made the choice to include everyone, not just their own customers and celebrities. As much as I personally am not a fan, luxury streetwear collabs aren't going anywhere anytime soon. The hype is insane and they're making tons of money off of it, so there's really no reason for them to change anything. Maybe more brands will take the Burberry route, but I honestly doubt it. It's honestly kind of one of those whatever things for me. I mean, if you like the stuff, then I'm happy for you. But before you shell out a crazy amount of money next time on a pricey piece of luxury streetwear from a legacy house, just remember this: they have no connection with you. You are little more than a dollar sign to their bottom line. They didn't respect you or your taste 6 or so years ago, and the only reason they began to show you attention is because they want your money. But hey, if you like it, I love it. And if you in fact like it, then hit us up in the comment section and let us know how much. Or if you agree with me, then hit us and let us know that too, and we can talk about it. Also, if you made it this far, then that obviously means you liked the video, and if so, then hit the like button for us. Like I said before, liking and sharing the video is the only way to help us to continue to grow and spread the reach as a channel. And if you want to be updated every time we drop a new episode, then hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell, and this way you will be dinged each time we drop a new video. That being said, I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com signing out. Until next time, people. Peace.